It's National Hot Dog Day on the Gastro Guru, and I'm gonna be making up a hot dog pizza like you've never even seen. But first, as always, we're gonna start off with an amazing cocktail. So we're gonna make up a Rum Bloody Mary, but first we're gonna make up our Bloody Mary mix. So garlic, great way to be able to do this. Get the skin, take the flat end of your knife, give it a good smash, and this makes it super easy to peel. So in a pitcher, 3/4 full, I'm gonna add in my garlic. I'm gonna chop it up so it helps with the infusion, with the interplay between the actual garlic and the tomato juice. So I'm gonna drop that in here. Next, I've got some Shishito Peppers. You can use anything. I'm still waiting for my jalapenos to bloom and ripen up in my garden. So I'm just gonna chop these guys up. Again, just a coarse chop because you need that liquid to be able to infuse and get all those great essential oils and flavors out of the vegetables and spices. I like the heat, so as you know, so I'm gonna be dropping that in. Next, I've got some dill. So some fresh dill, I'm gonna put in a healthy heap of this. Again, chopping it up. But you can use basil, you can do mint, you can do oregano, anything out of the garden will do. Throwing that in there, but you gotta chop it up. Next, some great barbecue sauce. Again, you can use whatever you like. This is a hickory-based barbecue sauce, and I'm gonna pour this in. It's a little bit thick, but that's okay. Give it a little bit of a roll and a rumble. There we go. And of course, all of the exact proportions are listed below this. Next, some Worcestershire, and then the piece de resistance, some pickle juice. So we're pouring in some pickle juice. That's gonna give it some nice acidity, the salt, the pepper, and then I've got some Italian seasoning that I'm gonna throw in here. And I'm gonna give this a good stir. Now, normally I'd be letting this sit for at least 24 hours, but of course, we don't have that kind of time right now. But at least you get to see how to make an amazing Bloody Mary mix. I'm gonna be pouring this into a shaker, shaking it up. But first, we're gonna rim this bad boy. So I'm gonna use the exact same Italian seasoning. And I've got some blue cheese salt that I'm gonna add in here. And just mix it around a little bit. And with a little bit of lemon, I'm just gonna rim the glass. You can do this with lime, orange, a jalapeno pepper if you wanna make it nice and spicy all the time. And then we are just gonna roll this around, click off that. Who needs seeds? Right on here. So you just wanna kind of mash it down a bit, give it a good swirl, and roll it around. Turns out perfect every single time. So let's add in our mix. And of course, this would already be strained, so I better strain it right now because I know that everything's gonna get in there. There we go. So pouring it into the shaker. Next, I'm gonna add in my Noxx and Dunn Rum from Florida. It's a great smooth rum. I know, and I think you're thinking, rum in a Bloody Mary? But honestly, the sweetness goes so well with the acidity and saltiness. So let's shake this bad boy up. And I always like to shake up my Caesars or Bloody Marys all the time because it just helps to really combine all those great ingredients. I'm gonna pour this in, and I'm gonna use my spoon to be nice and hygienic to make sure that those ice cubes don't knock off our rim. And there we go, let's have a taste. And of course, it's gonna taste way better if we were actually infusing this for 24 hours. That's amazing. And the herbs on there, make sure that your palate isn't just full of like a salt lick. It mixes really, really well with the cocktail. And even though I just let it sit like that and gave it a quick stir, you're still getting all those great flavors. So let's put this down, clean this up, and start cooking on our hot dog pizza. So we have our dough all rolled out and placed onto a well-greased, perforated pizza pan. And what I am doing right now is I'm taking my wieners, I'm using a jalapeno and cheddar wiener actually, and slicing some nice cuts in there. What this is gonna do is while it's cooking in the pizza, it's gonna splay. And that's gonna allow for the juices of the sauce and the cheese to actually really coagulate and build a nice tight bond so that we don't have any slippage in our pizza. that should be about it. So we have got a bunch of these out there. So next I've got our tomato sauce. And as you know, I already put barbecue sauce into our Bloody Mary mix. So why not use it to be able to blend a ton of great flavors and keep some nice consistency. This is such a great technique for pairing cocktails with food, is using similar ingredients to be able to just keep on building those flavors. I'm gonna stir that up a little bit. Next, I'm gonna add in our cheese. This is another big secret for this recipe, is you have to add in your cheese into the sauce so that the whole thing blends together. So we've got a nice blend of mozzarella, cheddar, and I've got a little bit of Asiago in here just to give it a little bit of bite as well. We're gonna mix that up, and then also we're gonna add in some muffalata. So this is a wonderful blend of olives in a great relish. It has some carrots in there, some sweet peppers, onions, the whole bit. And this is gonna serve as the base for our hot dog pizza. I'm actually gonna add in a little bit more cheese, because who doesn't love cheese? And here we go, done. So mixing this up, and when you're rolling out your dough, you wanna make sure that it's not too thin, because we're gonna be flipping this thing. I know you're thinking, how is this guy gonna make a hot dog pizza that he's flipping? You are going to see in a second. So let's add on our sauce. So this is just the first layer of sauce, and you can see already how thick this is. And that's a big thing. You wanna make sure that we've got enough cheese, but not too much so that the actual dough can't support it. And the perforations on the pan is gonna allow for some really nice even cooking on the barbecue. And I know you're still looking at those 3 empty cans and you're thinking, did that guy forget to put something in there or take something out of the scene? No, I'm gonna show you an amazing trick on the barbecue. So we've got that. Let's arrange our wieners. So here we go. We're gonna put these guys in here. And of course, depending on the size, we're gonna have to move some stuff around to make sure that we've got equal portioning of the wieners. And by the way, you can cheat a little bit and be able to throw that in there. There we go. And doesn't that look awesome already? So you can already see we're gonna be slicing this up like a pie. You know what, I'm just gonna throw that guy in there. And it's okay to throw in some extras. There we go. Boom. Let's saute up our onions, and then we're gonna throw those on there and then put another layer of sauce. So let's throw these in there. As soon as you start to see the onions get a little bit translucent, we're just about there. The onions are steaming and frying at the same time, which is what makes them caramelize and taste beautiful. So I'm gonna spread on our beautifully sauteed onions. I mean, who doesn't like onions on their pizza or on their hot dog? Next, we're gonna add in another layer of sauce. I'm gonna use the spoon just to kind of move everything around, make sure that we're getting it into all those little gaps. And isn't this looking awesome? I know, and you're still thinking, how is this guy gonna make this pizza? Well, here we go. I'm gonna show you. So we've got everything in there, looking beautiful. Okay, so now after the sauce, I'm gonna put on our next layer of dough. So I'm using a 00 flour, which is nice and light, and it just falls off of the dough, which is great, because sometimes when you're making homemade pizza, you get that chalky flavor and that sort of remnants in your mouth, and that's because the flour is sticking to the dough and cooking on there. So that is an amazing tip. You don't want this layer to be too thin, so you really want to make sure that you've got some good consistency in your dough, definitely no holes, and getting it so that it's about 1/4 of an inch thick, maybe even a little bit more. Add a little bit more flour if you need, just so it's not sticking to the rolling pin like it was. And then allow the weight of the dough to actually pull itself down. This is a great way to be able to stretch it out without overworking the dough. So next I got this going, and we are gonna roll it out and get it all nice and beautiful to lay it on top. So our dough is rolled out, it's not too thin, and I'm just gonna let it rest a little bit. Next, we're gonna do a little bit of egg wash. So I'm just gonna crack up some eggs. And of course, depending on the size of your pizza, that's gonna determine how many eggs you're gonna need. I'm using 3, so I'm actually gonna shellac the entire thing to help to use the eggs as a bonding agent. I know, we're getting all scientific right now. You're thinking, geez, come on, hot dogs and pizza, how tough can this be? This is such a super easy recipe. And the great thing is that what kid doesn't want to make this? So if you want to try and get your kids into a new hobby or interest your wife or your husband into cooking, it's a great way to be able to do it. Okay, so let's brush this up. And just what this is gonna do, it's gonna help the dough to actually stick and bake together. Nice. And I'm just gonna brush this. And then we're gonna layer it over top. I know, this is gonna take a little bit of skill, a little bit of work, but that's okay. You gotta have some excitement when you're cooking. So you wanna, challenge yourself. Is this gonna work? Is this not gonna work? I hope this is gonna work because I don't feel like having to redo this entire episode. I'm just joking. Here we go, guys. I would do it for you. I'd do it 1,000 times just to get it perfect. So we've got our pizza dough. It's looking nice. And next, we're gonna put it on. And you wanna try and do this all in one smooth action. So get your lines. There we go. And then tuck it all in. And you see, you just want to tuck it into the ridge. This is going to be sort of like the dam that's going to keep all of those beautiful ooey gooey sauces and cheese in. And there we go. Beautiful. So I've oiled up another perforated pizza sheet right here. I'm going to put it over top. And now I know what you're thinking. Oh, so that's how he's going to do it. Let's throw this on the grill and we're going to use those cans. And we've got our empty soup cans on the grill. We're gonna put our pizza on there, and this is gonna get us our hottest, driest air possible. It's on the flip. Commit and flip. The crust is golden brown, looks amazing. We're gonna take it off, let it cool, and serve it up. So our hot dog pizza has cooled down, and we're gonna take off the top. We've got the beautiful perforation marks, and I'm gonna slide this guy off. Oh my goodness. Oh, this has gotta weigh like 22 pounds. Okay, that looks awesome. I am very, very happy. Cool, let me remove this so I don't burn myself. And everybody likes different toppings on their pizza. So I love Hawaiian pizza. In case you want to put pineapple on there, which you totally can, I'm gonna make up a cocktail just for you. So this is the Florida Sunrise Sunset. I'm gonna add in a little bit of cherry brandy at the bottom. Next, we're gonna add in our Noxx and Dunn Rum. Next, I'm gonna add in some mango juice. So I'm gonna use a strainer so that it helps to layer the cocktail. I'm gonna add in a little bit of blood orange, and look at this. Squeeze, and then again, and watch the sunset. A little bit of Butterfly Pea Tea, and boom. Look at that. Purple, yellow, red. That's a gorgeous cocktail. And let's check out our amazing hot dog pizza. Oh my God, I can just smell it right now. Happy National Hot Dog Day. Ooey gooey goodness, here we go. Look at that. Guys, stay safe, keep cooking, keep shaking, and I'll see you next week.